If you feel like your pelvis is literally splitting in half when you walk, or you're feeling sharp stabbing pain in your low back, you are probably dealing with pelvic girdle pain, and it is doing no favors for you as you prepare for birth. So in this video, I'm going to explain briefly what that is. Like when you hear pelvic girdle pain, what are we actually talking about? And then what to do about it to have a birth-ready pelvic floor. I should trademark that because that's a good phrase. So let's take a look at the pelvis. The white stuff is bones, the red stuff is muscles, okay? Right here, you have a joint in the front of your pelvis. This is what people refer to as the pubic bone. And that joint, because you have all these hormones coursing through your body, you've heard of relaxin probably. There's a whole cocktail of hormones that are contributing to joint laxity, which is actually a very good thing because it helps things shift and move and make space for baby during labor. But it can mean aches and pains for you during pregnancy and of course during labor, but that's for another video. So this joint right here, this is your symphysis pubis, which is it basically means like the joining place of the two pubic bones, excuse me. And that joint with the hormones can open up a little bit, the bones can move a little bit. And normally they're not doing that. So all of a sudden they are. It seems minor, but if you've ever experienced it, you know it feels anything but minor. It feels extremely painful. And then similarly, at the back of your pelvis, like if you turn around and look in the mirror and you can see your low back, you have those two dimples above your butt. That's your SI joint, your sacroiliac joint. Sacro meaning sacrum, iliac meaning ilium, which are your hip bones. So where the ilium meets the sacrum, you have a joint right here and a joint right here. And that can be extremely painful because the same thing is happening. A joint is anywhere that two bones meet, but there's a little bit of space there and there's ligaments and stuff connecting them. And those ligaments are stretching out. So the bones are shifting more than they otherwise would, or they might be scraping against each other. Ow. And so basically what's happening is your body feels that pain and tenses up. And the muscles that are meant to stabilize those joints, they haven't really had to work that hard before because there weren't these hormones making them relax. And so those guys didn't have to show up for work as often as they do right now, and they're grumpy about it, right? And so between the movement and the pain of the movement, and then the muscles trying to stabilize who aren't used to doing that job, things are screaming, they're hurting, and your whole body tenses up. Your pelvic floor tenses up, which is not what we want for labor. We want the opposite. We want a relaxed pelvic floor for labor. So what you need to do about it, you got to do hip stabilizing exercises. You got to stop stretching your hips all the time and actually strengthen them. So when you're in a hands and knees position, if you're at the gym doing exercises, or you're at home doing exercises, or you're doing a yoga class, grab a yoga block and put it in between your knees and squeeze gently on that block, or a Pilates ball, anything, a ball you took from your kids' room, like about this big, so your knees are still kind of hip width apart and you're squeezing into it. That's really good for SPD when you're feeling that pain in the front, okay? But for both, you really need to work on things like clamshells, gliders, and killers. Those are some of my favorite exercises I learned from my PT. And we do these in all of my yoga classes, okay? So you don't have to go Google this right now. You'll do it in the program. And by doing those exercises, you are strengthening the stabilizing muscles, which will strengthen and stabilize the joints, which will lessen your pain and allow your pelvic floor to just chill the heck out and relax and let your baby out for labor. So it's all connected. You'll feel good now and you will have a better labor because of it. So you got to stabilize the pain. But you may not know there are things you are doing that are making it worse. And one of those things is the pregnant waddle. So go grab a penguin. I'm just kidding. I have one for you in the video. Go watch the pregnant waddle video and let's talk about that next.